So, now that we've done the SmackDown and Raw thing, what we do here on Shoot Sessions is we shoot the shit. We talk about topics. You know, we give each other some topics. We actually get fan mail. So we'll do the fan mail last. But let's start off with our first topic. This is a topic that we've actually been talking about for a little bit. As pure wrestling fans have probably noticed, especially a Night of Champions for those of you that did watch, Wyatt Family Shield matchup. Right before they brought out Chris Jericho, we talked about it in our review show last week. Right before Jericho came out, an idiot fan came up over the guard railing, ran into the ring, stood right behind Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose in his stupid, shield outfit.
Did you hear it? I was watching that clip again. He runs up and he says, "What's up, brothers?" Right before he gets.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That makes it so much worse.
Before he gets. He gets taken out.
But the thing is, like, he's standing there for a good 5 or 6, 7 seconds, right? And security kind of just escorts him out. Referee's kind of pointing, and it's like. Yeah. But before we continue, the thing that Wyatt said after that, when he came up, Wyatt looks at him and just straight out says, "Is this who you picked?" Oh man, dude!
And then Ambrose like, "That's our guy."
Classic. It's good, man. I'm glad that the wrestlers are kind of having fun with this.
Yeah.
But this topic isn't about having fun. This topic isn't even about like these idiots. This is about like better security for these guys, man. Like these guys put it out on the line, injury wise and putting their bodies on the line and everything like that. The least of their worries should be having somebody kind of sneak up behind them and attack them, like in real life.
And that's, I don't think it was 6 seconds. That's a long time. I think it was shorter than that, but it was long enough. It's like, what the fuck? How did you get to the ring?
It was, the guy's standing there. The guy's standing in there enough to converse with him.
Yeah.
And then security kind of brings him out. I've heard stories, articles, interviews from old school wrestlers. These guys couldn't walk after they did this, when they left the arena. These guys were, they made sure that these idiots would never do this again.
You want to be a part of this show? All right.
It's like they would be tackled. They would be, they would be brought to the back Vegas style, like just straight out. Okay, you want to steal our money? No.
It's, I don't know.
I understand.
And I agree. I don't doubt that. Like in the past, they would have fucking gotten stomped. You wouldn't have the balls to step in there unless you were really, really, really drunk.
Can you imagine going into the ring, and on one end you see a Roddy Piper, and on the other end you see a Jake the Snake?
Oh fuck!
You'd be fucked. I'm sorry. There wouldn't be security. Wouldn't be needed. Roddy Piper would have belted him. So it's
they wouldn't take kindly.
I understand the PC aspect of everything. I get that. But better security is needed. From what I understand, the last couple of weeks they've beefed up security. This idiot at Night of Champions actually got, I think, 9 days or something like that in jail. And WWE, sent out a press release saying they will be,
prosecuting you to the fullest extent of the law,
which is good. I'm glad that they're starting. A couple points that I wanted to bring up. There was a fan that jumped the guardrail back on a Raw sometime in September, early September.
With Seth Rollins?
Yeah, walked up to, and this was televised. Seth Rollins is coming out. He's the heel, and this guy just kind of walks next to him.
Just walking next. Hey, how come they get the weirdest people running up next to them?
But the thing is, he walked right alongside of him.
Yeah.
From almost the top of the ramp to the bottom of the ramp till he was escorted out by security.
Yeah, and then it happened with the referee had to point to him, and then security is like, "Oh shit, we should go get him."
And all this time, John Cena's in the ring, and
John Cena's like, "Hey,"
John Cena was. You could see his face. He was about to jump over the ropes and kill somebody. But it's the security. It's the security of these wrestlers that I'm more worried about. Another instance, Roman Reigns was attacked. This was a house show in Victoria, British Columbia. He was doing a match with Bray Wyatt, like they always do in their feud. Some idiot throws a Money in the Bank briefcase. Thank God it wasn't metal. It was, I think, plastic.
I remember that.
It was a briefcase that the guy made, threw it into the ring, and it hits Roman Reigns.
Head, yeah.
Imagine if it was a metal case. Imagine if it was something else. Imagine this isn't ECW. This isn't 1998. This isn't that time. You have a company that's publicly traded, and you have a company that is so big. You have to put better security.
Yeah, I keep I remember when that thing happened on Night of Champions, or wasn't Night? Yeah,
Night of Champions.
I was on the Shoot Sessions Twitter, and then I wrote, "Man, these people really like to come mess with the Shield,
dude." And like again, my last thing was Dean Ambrose. Someone came up to Dean Ambrose on a SmackDown.
That was probably the worst one, because he was running towards him, but the security was quick there.
Yeah, and it looked like he had something in his hand, so we can't tell and we can't be sure. But you make a good point, man. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose. Then at Night of Champions, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. Dude, does everybody want to be part of the Shield?
Brothers? Yeah.
It's like, okay, you lost your third member. Hey, can I be a part of your outfit?
It's dumb. I could find some humor in it, but it's like
it can't keep on happening.
Like what's going on? Like, and I don't know. Like, what can you do to stop it besides put in bigger punishments? Because security, sure, like they could probably do a better job, but I mean, if I'm sitting where Stephen Amell is sitting and I decide to jump the fucking thing, like I'm sure I could get into the ring.
Oh yeah, because the ring doesn't seem that far from where you are, especially if you're in the front row.
Yeah,
and I understand you can't have a security guard every 6 feet.
Yeah,
because that takes away from being a fan. I understand that, but first of all, it comes down to these idiots. They need to stop doing this. Like, look, these wrestlers are putting their lives and the careers on the line to do moves that make you say holy shit.
Yeah,
respect them and not fucking get in the ring. Look, if you're not going to do anything, it doesn't matter. Like, why are you in there? 15
just
minutes of
fucking, fame, fucking it up. And like, you gotta have be some stupid idiot if you're gonna get those nice seats and then fuck everything up by jumping in there.
Yeah, if I paid however much for those seats, especially at a pay-per-view like Night of Champions, when you haven't seen the whole card yet, that's just stupid.
Oh yeah, that's dumb.
That's just stupid.
And you didn't get to see the fucking Sting and Cena match.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look at me, I have my little Shield outfit that I made out of
It's
clay.
Like a cool job, dude. Like, nice paper. Fucking job. What are you thinking? Like,
but I'm glad that at least WWE understands it. They're prosecuting because that's really all they can do. They can't really do anything else. Beefing up security is good. They should start putting maybe unidentified people in the crowd.
Yeah,
where that's all they do is watch people's reactions.
Just like see somebody getting rowdy, like okay. Then I don't know if I'd agree with that. I never liked that kind of stuff. But
yeah, I mean,
and then what else can you do? You have tell the wrestlers, like, if they jump in, you could beat their ass. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that anymore.
Yeah, no, I understand that. And I'm not condoning anything like that. I'm just saying that back in the day, you didn't do that because you had, number one, respect for the wrestlers that are doing this for you. And number two, you would get your ass beat.
Yeah.
But I'm not condoning, I'm not condoning WWE to have the wrestlers beat up people.
I would have liked to see it. Don't get me wrong.
But at the same time, something needs to happen, whether it's a little more security, whether it's undercover people, something needs to happen. I'm glad that they're on the right track. But please, it starts from you idiots. If you're thinking about going into the ring or jumping the guard or the guardrail or whatever, just don't do it. Just don't do it.